Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing fantastic. Today we're going to be discussing a recent story that Kay and Tay posted because a lot of people are discussing the fact that this seems to have crossed the line a little bit further than just simply sharing your life and explaining a really sensitive situation and topic for monetary gain, and we're going to talk about it too. Let's go, guys. So for those of you that are new here, I'm Sasha and this is Mickey right here. And we also have Minnie over on the bed over there, but you can't see her. And here we discuss the various harmful behaviors that we see amongst influencer culture. Now today, as I said, we're going to be discussing Kay and Tay because she ended up recently in the hospital and Tay decided to film and document the whole thing. And they have a couple really weird excuses behind why they're doing it to be relatable. In my opinion, I think this really crosses the line between simply sharing your life with your followers and giving a life update and completely using traumatic situations for monetary gain. Now, first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the story that they posted, and then we're going to look at some comments, and then we'll discuss. Shall we? Okay, so as I said, this is the story or reel that Kay and Tay posted. Taking my wife to the emergency room because she started feeling really bad with the sad emoji face. So I want you guys to really pay attention to, one, the way he's talking to her throughout all of this. I understand that she's sick, so it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna take care of her and have a caring tone of voice, but to treat her like a toddler, it kind of crosses that line. Anyway, let's just take a look at the video.
104.8.
Edie, we gotta go.
I don't want to go. I hate emergency rooms. They're never nice.
You want a blanket? Yeah?
Yeah.
Here you go, sweetie.
Oh, thank you, God.
Alright, sweetie.
I'm so dizzy.
What are you feeling like?
Achy. Everything hurts and I feel weak and I feel really dizzy. Like I just went on a ride that spins really fast.
How you feeling?
Horrible.
Sweetie, I brought you this. What?
I don't want it.
I thought it might make it better.
No, thank you. I'm not hungry.
They're gonna figure it out, Judy. They'll know by tomorrow.
I don't want to stay tonight.
I know, sweetie.
I miss my babies.
I'm gonna go and put them down, and then I'll be back, okay? I love you.
I love you.
You're so strong.
So it says here, we will update when we know more. Backstory, we were having a normal morning, playing with the babies, cleaning, etc., and Kay started feeling dizzy. She sat down and it got worse. Soon she had a fever of 105 and felt so unwell. Soon we decided to go to the emergency room. I called family to watch the babies and we drove there. They let us skip the line because they were worried Kay might have sepsis. They started running tests and found out that she had pneumonia and was not doing well. They wanted her to stay the night, so I went back and helped put the babies down and went back to advocate for Kay. She isn't recovering yet, so we are doing IV antibiotics and fluids for now and are waiting to see if that helps. All right, so that is the original story that was posted. And okay, so first of all, the way he's talking to her, obviously he's infantilizing her. And that is something that we've seen time and time again on the Kay and Tay platform. And it's a big reason why a lot of people criticize them for having fetish content, just because of the way he treats her and also and speaks to her. It's a type of fetish. We can't deny it. And also the content that they do post has sexual innuendos and connotations attached to it, even if it's not outright that. So it's kind of just a mishmash of things. Now, him being overly kind and caring during all of this, I think it's all just a facade because these are the fakest people on the YouTube, TikTok, social media, period. And nothing they ever do is genuine. However, I will say that I don't think she's faking this. First of all, a fever of 105 is dangerously high. And in case you didn't see her BP flash by, it was like 194 over something, which is really, really high as well. And her resting BPM, I saw in another update somewhere, which I'm sure we'll come across, was 150. That is a high BPM. So all of this, the high BP, the high heart rate, the high fever, that's all pointing to signs of infection. Now, Kay recently had plastic surgery. We don't know exactly what she had done. She says she just had her eyelids sucked out. It's not the right thing. Her bags sucked out. I don't even know what that surgery is, but she got her bags removed, and there's a lot of speculation that she probably had a couple other procedures done as well. Can't confirm, but ultimately that's really concerning because we're a week post-op or so, and now she has this super crazy infection. So no wonder they thought it might be sepsis. And I saw Tay say somewhere that it was absolutely not at all from any of the surgery sites. And it's like, okay, well, how else would she end up septic? And if she's not even responding to IV antibiotics, it's a little interesting that it's pneumonia. And obviously postoperative pneumonia is a thing. I don't know how common it is. Hold on, let's take a look. Yeah, so it's not very common, occurring in only 2 to 15% of surgical patients, but it is the third most common complication after surgery. And obviously she doesn't have a whole lot of risk factors, including obesity, smoking, increased age, and the high risk procedures include like aortic dissection surgery, esophagectomy, and cardiovascular surgery, which obviously she had none of those procedures.
It's also worth noting that this occurs 48 to 72 hours post-op, and we're about a week post-op from Kay's procedures, so I find it unlikely that it would be post-op pneumonia or pneumonia caused from the surgery specifically.
Who knows, right? Now, Kay and Tay are trying to claim that it was Ellie, I believe, their eldest daughter together, that was sick and gave the sickness to Kay. And since she has lupus, well, it's hitting her like a ton of bricks. Now, I don't know. I personally think that it could very well be a complication from surgery. I don't know why they wouldn't be forthcoming about that if that was the case, especially if it turns out that she is septic. But ultimately, to film that whole interaction was really, really gross, and it felt extremely exploitative, and it made a lot of people really uncomfortable, with this one commenter saying just that. This kind of content feels really uncomfortable to watch. In a situation like that, would it make more sense to put the phone down and focus on getting her to the hospital? Not everything needs to be turned into social media content. This is one that I was sent yesterday by one of my friends who was doing some super sleuthing in the comment section. It's uncomfortable, then don't watch it. Their favorite response, right? Exact thoughts, no judgment, but I felt this was a time for just them to be together and no content out there. Hopefully she feels better. I had the same thought, and it's okay that they want to share their lives and everything in social media, especially if they make money out of it, but there's moments when you should put the phone down and focus on her and keep it intimate as a family. And that's the thing, is there is nothing intimate and sacred with these two anymore. They have filmed birth, they've filmed coming home from the hospital, every milestone, every single intimate family moment has been made into monetized social media content. There is no intimacy, no privacy, and it's really hard when you think about consent, because Kay is an adult, but with a fever that high and feeling that terrible, do you really think she can consent and actually consent to being filmed like this? Especially, like, what if she went downhill really fast and spiraled? She might not want to be filmed like that, but then she's, unconscious or whatever and can't give that consent anymore. And now in Tay's mind, consent is implied because she needs to share this journey and relate to others. And it's like, no. In my opinion, what I think is that you can share things that happen in your life without completely exploiting them for social media content, right? This didn't need to be an entire video filming Kay at one of her worst moments. I don't think that's fair. Even if you are social media content creators, you could have done a quick story update without any pictures exploiting the situation and just been like, hey, she's in the hospital, this is what's going on. Anyone would do that. If I ended up in the hospital, or my husband or my kids or whatever, quick update, hey guys, like we have a hospital stay, things are okay. This is, things are scary, things are whatever. And that's it. Leave it at that. I'll update you when I have a chance, right? It's not this whole film it and make this giant production out of it. That's gross. And then another thing that people were calling out was the fact that he parked far away from the door, just so he can interrogate her walking in on how she felt before they got into the hospital and didn't have to do that in front of other people. Like, what? Why wouldn't you drop your super sick wife off at the emergency room door? Oh, right, because they're too codependent. They can't be apart for 35 seconds while he goes and parks the car? That makes no sense. If she feels as bad as she felt, making her walk across the freaking parking lot to the emergency room was highly insensitive and just dumb and not fair. Anyway, so there was that, the walking. And then the next thing that people were kind of like WTFing about was the fact that he came back with Taco Bell and was like, here, I thought this would make you feel better. Why? Why would you think that would make her feel better? Taco Bell, of all things, even if it's her favorite. It's garbage food. It's not, arguably not even can be considered actual food. And yet he comes back with the Taco Bell and then laughs in her face when she says that she wasn't hungry. And that made a lot of people uncomfortable because it was like, you chuckling like that, being like, oh, you're so silly. You're being over dramatic. Like, it just was not the right response, which is really weird. You know? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I going too far? I don't know. But what else do we have? Okay, so then we have some updates. Fever is down to 100 to 101, and it's a picture of her. She looks gray. Like, she looks like crap, and not being snarky. Sorry, I should say she looks like she feels like crap, which kind of just is a backhanded way of saying she looks like crap, but not in a snarky way. She has no color to her. She looks miserable. The doctors want to see her white blood count come down. It's gone up instead of down. Terrifying. We're hoping that with more IV antibiotics, it'll start to come down. It's at 20, which isn't crazy high, but it's definitely not a number they'd like to see. Kay is in good spirits, but just tired and sore from the chest pain brought on by the pneumonia. We will update you guys soon. So that too is also terrifying because at this point she's been on antibiotics. So it's great that the fever came down, but the fact that her white count went up is really sus to me. I don't know. It's just raising alarm bells in my brain. I don't know. And then doctors wanted us to stay due to Kay having pneumonia and her lab's not looking great. Oh, I think this was before the other one. She's been taking antibiotics. We're hoping that it's bacterial pneumonia, so these antibiotics are able to actually help. They may want us to stay another night. We'll see. Thanks for all the kind words, blah, blah, blah. And then this also really upset people. Update on Kay. We've received thousands of DMs and wanted to update you guys. Thousands of DMs. We had to stay the night at the hospital after going to the ER because of how bad Kay's labs look. See the previous post to get filled in on that. Okay, so at least I read them in order. Pneumonia was found in her lungs and with a high fever and low blood pressure. Oh yeah, because that too. Wait, where's the other one? Oh, BP. Okay, so that was in the fever was down, but BP is still low. So she went from having a super high blood pressure to a low one, but not dangerously low, but still, I don't know, weird. So they couldn't rule out sepsis. So we are doing IV antibiotics in the hospital to see if she improves. We have family watching E and S, and I went back home to get them to sleep and went back to stay with Kay. I like to be there to advocate for her. Are we sure about that? I ended up going back in the middle of the night, got S, and set her up in the room with us in a bassinet, because she's still waking up a lot at night and looks for Kay. This was, of course, with permission from the staff. That really upset a lot of people. The doctors still don't know how her labs look today because she hasn't shown recovery, and we are doing more antibiotics. We'll keep you posted with updates as they come. Thank you all for the kind words. So not only is she not getting better, you know, the fever came down a little bit, but her white count's still high. Her blood pressure's low. She's all over the place. She's exhausted. She's sore. She's miserable. Let's bring a young infant to the hospital. So first red flag, she's a young infant. She should not be in a hospital. Second of all, Kay is really, really sick right now. She doesn't need to be up caring for an infant at night. And I understand that S is still really young and searches for Kay for feeding at night and that comfort, and been there, done that. I get that. But you're in the hospital extremely sick. Why are we bringing babies around extremely sick people? First of all, and second of all, like, don't you think that this might be a time that she needs rest? They have all this stored breast milk because she kept bragging about how much her production was, how much she was making, and her production was so high and all this stuff. We didn't need to do this. We didn't need to do this. And I don't know if they ended up showing Kay with S or S at all in the hospital, whatever, but they had to mention it. Sometimes we need to prioritize ourselves. She's not doing well. She needs rest and she needs calm. Having a baby there, just an extra thing to worry about, even if Tay is there, like, unhinged. Now, I saw this morning when I logged on to Reddit that they are indeed getting a lot of backlash that they haven't received since they were whining and crying about their Disney cruise being canceled because, you know, people were dying and losing their homes during a massive, insane hurricane that blasted through Florida. Or sorry, Disney trip, not Disney cruise. But like, seriously, time and place. So here are some backlash comments that they're getting. With all respect, sincerely, get well soon. Why not put the camera down for this particular situation? Been with her 24 hours, so I have. Smiley face. You saw 1 minute of footage of a journey that we document daily no matter what is going on. Anything for attention, eh? Everything is content. He just said it right there. It's all content. They document it no matter what's going on. Content. So this kind of content feels really uncomfortable. Kay prefers to document these moments. The situation and symptoms could be something that someone else is going through or has gone through. So to see it is important to her. So to see it is important to her. That sentence makes no sense. Okay. Also, this was 1 minute of filming of what has now been 24 hours of hospitalization. So it's really not being unfocused. The freaking excuses, guys. Like the excuses. I can't with this guy. I can't. You don't owe us this video. Take care of your family. Well said, Audrey. Some things don't need to be filmed, especially when sick. Hope you feel better in private. Tay, you literally make it sound sarcastic when it comes to looking after her. She looks genuinely so drained and run down. Just maybe don't try to force the content and be there for her fully. So again, they're getting a lot of comments like this. And here's someone, the Ungerman family with a blue check mark on Instagram, I think. I'm sorry, but why post this kind of content? I mean, I love seeing your posts, but you were taking time to video your wife's misery for monetary gain. She needs support and love, not a phone shoved in her face. And for those that defend it, how sad. You are making her a commodity and something for you to consume. This is so disturbing. I sincerely hope you get better soon. So that's from someone who follows them, who enjoys their posts. That's like, seems like another family vlogger, honestly, with a blue check mark, calling them out. This isn't just the unhinged Reddit people. Like, no, it's regular Joe Blows who follow them, who enjoy them and like their content, who are saying, this was a little too far. So then we have Autumn. Autumn. I think that's supposed to be Autumn, but like that's not spelled right. And she responded a bunch of times to that one that says, this makes me feel uncomfortable. The level of parasocial coming from this person is unhinged. This is exactly the definition of parasocial, and you will see when we read her comments here. IDK, what your problem is here, because I do not believe that the phone was at all in the way of getting her to the hospital or delaying her recovery. It doesn't make sense to record a slice of bread slowly falling down, but people still love that content. Is that for real? Is there content about bread slowly falling down? Because I've never seen it. Okay. Kay and Tay share their beautiful family and some personal things online. People fall in love with who they are, and we care and worry about them. So for me, seeing this video makes me feel connected to them. I can compare my own experiences to theirs, and they set an example of what true love can look like. Okay, girl. If you think this is true love and not 1000% performative bullshit, like, you need to get your head evaluated. You really should not believe everything you see on social media, because their entire relationship, hi Mickey, is fake. The whole thing. And it will come out one day. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'm excited for that day. But it's fake. All of it. This isn't what true love looks like. True love is giving your partner privacy and taking care of them in private, not blasting it to the world for everyone to see and be like, look how great I am. Look how great of a partner I am because I'm taking care of my person. No, you shouldn't need that kind of external validation. It's not normal. It's not normal or healthy. I'm so grateful that they feel comfortable enough to share their lives with the world. Good for you, I guess. How does recording get in the way of taking care of her? Would putting down the phone have made the car magically poof to the hospital any faster? No, but it might, if he got pulled over for distracted driving, that could have delayed getting to the hospital because he was filming and driving, which is another thing that we should probably stop doing, or that police really need to start cracking down on. These influencers who drive and film themselves while driving tell on themselves all the time. And it blows my mind that they haven't been caught. It's such an easy ticket to make your quota at the end of the quarter. Just go on TikTok and look at all of the influencers who are filming themselves driving and go pull them over. Track them down. The police have those capabilities, I think, maybe. Would it have magically healed her? No. So what's the problem in recording? You sound like a boomer Karen. Right. Because anyone who has a differing opinion from and is not 100% kissing these people asses is a boomer Karen. Right. She responded to someone else saying, your energy makes me uncomfortable. Tell me you've never had a single healthy relationship in your life without telling me. So I'm not sure what comment she was responding to there because I don't think I have it. Yeah, I'm not sure what comment she's responding to there about like your energy makes me feel uncomfortable and like not having a healthy relationship. But honestly, I will say it again and again. If you think Kay and Tay have a healthy relationship and it's not just all fake for the camera, like you are naive. You're living in La La Land with rose-colored glasses on. He has a literal DV charge against him. And no, for all of those who came to my video saying he was found not guilty. No, he wasn't found not guilty. She withdrew the charges, which means that it did happen. It did happen. And she said, he tossed me from the bed to the ground, to the bed, to the ground, to the bed, to the ground, to the bed, to the ground again, and made me fear for my life. That's not something that just like magically happens. No. Unhinged. And the smile in the mugshot. I'll never get over it. I will never get over how creepy that is. So creepy. Okay. So quickly, before I wrap up this video, because that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, please let me know your thoughts down below. Like, do you think this was crossing a line? I genuinely think that this was crossing just that ethical line of not just sharing what's going on. It could have just been a post. It could have been a story post even, but no, they filmed it and made a reel out of it. And I don't know how much that reel got, how many hits that reel got, but we'll go take a look here in a minute. So I'm just gonna jump over to Kay and Tay Exposed on Reddit here and see what's going on, see if there's any updates since I last looked. Out of the thousands of comments slamming him for his bizarre and inappropriate behavior yesterday, this was the only one Tay was offended by and felt the need to be butthurt. Okay, geez, she's being watched by the doctors. You don't need to sit there the whole time. You spelled whole wrong. Go home. One thing about me, if my wife is in the hospital, I'm in the hospital advocating for her and making sure that she's calm and comfortable. That too, a lot of people pick up on the fact that Kay can't go anywhere without Tay. Like, she can't go get her nails done. She can't go to the grocery store. She can't do anything without him. The level of codependence is really high with these two. With his DV charge and everything, a lot of people think that it's just his controlling nature behind it all. But I also think that there's a level of everything's content. So he needs to be there to film it. He needs to be there in case she crashes. That is content gold for them right now. That'll be a massive payday. And I know that sounds really nasty to say out loud, but that's the truth. It's not about this whole BS of, oh, I'm there to advocate for her. Like, no, she's an adult. She can advocate for herself. You know, maybe not in this state because she looks pretty gaunt and not okay, but still, you don't need to be there. She's not a child. She doesn't need you to be there to advocate for her. If you have the chance to be there, sure. But the fact that you're there filming it all is disgusting. This is another reel. So gross. Tay, no one believes you were advocating. We literally watched you laugh at your sick wife while you left her to wave Taco Bell in her face. Leave her so you could bring a crying baby for her to console in a germ-infested hospital in the middle of the night and spend additional time editing a video montage of your wife looking critically ill. No one should think this is normal or compassionate. Very well said, Lakery girl. Like, honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly it. It summarizes everything perfectly. Tay can't stop being controlling. Major ick. I used to work in a hospital setting, and when I was still in active duty in the military, and then when I came back as a paramedic. I have to say, I've met a ton of Tays, and I would often ask them to leave the room because of visiting hours or some other reason that I or someone else could come up with. I don't like the way he's controlling, watching her, and then painting it as advocating. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. We've seen the red flags before. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. He just needs to say it already. He does not trust her. What does he think? She's going to run off with a doctor? Man, I don't like her, but I would rather watch her run off with a doctor than be stuck with a controlling DA-er like Tay. Yeah, legit though. No, because once a cheater, always a cheater. He can't trust her to be alone. She was called the base bunny or like the bicycle bunny or like something like that because she was literally passed around the military base when she was married to her first husband. That's messed up. That's gross. Gross. Word gets around when you get famous, Kay. Especially if you have skeletons in your closet. Like, come on. No way in hell I would want anyone staring at me all day. I'm sure they would call him if they needed advice or calming. Be for real, Tay. You can't let her out of your sight. No wonder she's sick all the time. You're always riding her ass. Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't look like there's been anything else posted to Reddit at least. So I'm just going to quickly jump over and check to see if they posted anything. And then I think we're good because that's what I really wanted to share with you guys. For those who haven't been watching, Kay was admitted for pneumonia and sepsis. There's an update in the caption of the reel. Oh, so she officially has sepsis now? Okay, so this was 2 hours ago. We have been doing IV antibiotics because the staff can tell that her body is fighting off an infection. They've already seen pneumonia in her lungs, but have been doing additional checks to make sure it's not elsewhere. To make sure the pneumonia isn't elsewhere? I don't think pneumonia can just travel around the body. He probably means the infection, but that's a really weird freaking sentence. Her white blood cell count is too high, which means she's actively fighting something. Thanks, Dr. Tay. Appreciate it. So they have been running multiple blood tests to see if it will go down. It hasn't gone down yet, but we are hoping now that we've been a few rounds of antibiotics that it will go down today. Oh my God, how many times can you say go down in one freaking sentence? If it does, we may be able to switch to pill form antibiotics. We will know more later. Thank you for the kind words. Okay, so that's that. That's the newest update from them. Honestly, what do you guys think? Because like I said, I genuinely feel like this was just way past the point of, hey, we're just sharing our experience. He's literally making content over his wife being extremely ill. And in my opinion, I don't think that should be a thing. I think that there needs to be boundaries when it comes to social media. And this isn't just trying to be relatable with people and trying to connect with people and stuff like that. It's exploitative, right? We talked about this a lot with the Adelaide White video, going from sharing your experience to exploiting trauma and monetizing it. And that's what I think is happening in this case. It's a really gross situation, and his comments there and their actions prove that everything is content to them. So if you think that he doesn't have a phone shoved in everyone's faces 24/7, you're lying to yourself. This isn't just about you've seen a 1 minute video. Yeah, that's the 1 minute that made the cut. That doesn't mean the other however many minutes of the day, waking hours, weren't filmed. They absolutely were filmed. It's just they weren't dramatic enough or sparkly enough to make the cut and get posted to social media. Unhinged and not okay. But yeah, that made a lot of people uncomfortable. Honestly, just seeing her in that state and how sick she really looks made me uncomfortable too. And yeah, there's a point where it's like, oh, if it makes you uncomfortable, don't watch it. Okay, fair, fine. But they're posting it to social media. and it comes across people's feeds. It gets to a point where it's like, two things can be true at once. Yes, I could not watch the content, which I don't watch the content. And also, it could be not good content to post and not okay and exploitative and money hungry and clout goblins, you know? But that's what I have for you for today's update video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.